Hi everyone, welcome to DOdaily, Monday Motivation. It's Des here, checking in for the first time this week, looking to instill some positivity and motivation, but I'm actually going to try and keep it brief. I think it's important with the nation mourning the passing of the Queen and the funeral having taken place today. Whilst I don't think I do, try not to preach too much. Leave people to mull over things themselves and understand how these things affect the bigger picture. For me personally, that's my way of showing some respect. Whilst I consider myself somewhat of a royalist, it's not always at the forefront of my mind. So this is the best way I feel I can do that. Of course, the Queen did a fantastic job leading the country for 70 years. What a show of leadership. Somebody who's always talking about setting the right example, doing things properly, creating habits and routines. That's definitely something she did and we can all look up to and aspire to be like. I'm definitely inspired by that when looking around at people to be inspired by. She was definitely right up there. So today I'm out in the Queen Victoria Gardens, just by the River Trent, somewhere you find me a lot on a Monday, getting in a walk. And there's one or two reasons why it's important for me to continue to do that. I'll come back to those shortly. But I'm just out here taking some quiet time. Whilst there is people about down by the river, there's a really sort of sombre nature to things, and that's totally understandable, isn't it? Everybody's kind of coming to terms, whether you're a royalist or not, with a new way of life. As of today, we sort of close that chapter and look forward to life as none of us have really known it before. And whilst it is sad, whilst it's difficult for many to process, and even subconsciously for many, it's something we have to embrace and look to take forward. Funerals, of course, are closure, and whilst lots of people see them as sad occasions, which they definitely are, don't get me wrong, I've experienced enough of them myself to understand that, but we also have to look at them as a celebration of what's gone before. And that kind of leads me into those reasons why I think it's important to still come out and just say a few words and maintain the importance of what I do. Of course, Mondays I always like to get out, get a walk in, make sure I've done some exercise and activity. I've been inside, indoors all day, watching television, watching the funeral. So definitely need to get out and get some fresh air, get myself moving. It's a bank holiday here and it'd be easy just to get under the duvet on the sofa for the day and not think too much. And again, that will be totally understandable if that's the way you're tackling it. I can completely understand. But for me, I just needed to get out and almost process all of that, the funeral, how it relates into something so momentous, relates into what I do, and how I can sort of put a little bit of positivity on it. And that's kind of the second reason I had to come out, because it's just a perfect reminder again that it was at the start of what I do now. One of the reasons for wanting to share some of the messages I do is because I realise my own invincibility. And whilst we can all get sad and stressed and worry about life and death and different things, when you understand it's a process, pretty much like the Queen did herself. She went on record many times to say pretty similar things. It's the time you start enjoying it. We all experience real low points in our life, but out of low points, from the adversity, generally comes all the good things. All the things we can celebrate. And looking at the Queen's life now, she's left a legacy. She'll leave lots of happy memories. And those are the things we take with us, aren't we? I touched on there, I realised my own invincibility. I thought I was ill in a bad way at one point, and that was kind of the start of things. Still took further actions, you might say, well, you mentioned running, that got you into it, or losing weight, that got you into sort of what you do now. Yes, it did in many ways, but there's lots of things that sort of built up over time to really get me going and ticking and believing I need to be positive and sort of enthusiastic about what I do. Since I've been that, since I've understood that it is all a process, and we have to really make the most of the time we've got, really make the most of the people we've got whilst they're here, because things happen like what's happened now, and it was always going to happen. That's not me being brutal. Sooner rather than later, the Queen lived to a great age. There was going to be a day like today, and whilst we're all feeling it, like I say, even if the sadness is not necessarily apparent, we're all going to feel a different way of life, understand things are never quite going to be the same again. So I think it was important for me to get out, think that through, remember back to that time, remember why it's important to talk about such things, remember what I've taken from the Queen, and it's definitely that leadership and that sort of never explain, never complain. Whilst I do explain a lot of things, I try to through this, never complain mentality. It's about being positive, isn't it? Working off what's good, and of course that's what the Queen and the royal family tend to live to, most of them anyway. Never explain, never complain, because again, it's a way of being positive, isn't it? It's a way of making sure that whatever happens, not everybody's going to agree with what they are or what it all means, but again, we can take something from such an occasion as this. It's a day that will go down in history. I'm marking it in my own little way. I might look back at it one day and go, wow, I said that on the day the Queen died. Well, might not get it right, I might get it completely wrong, but it's a day where I'm at thoughts and at ease with saying what's on my mind, and again, looking forward to the next chapter. Every Monday I consider it a new chapter, a chance to go again. Whatever's not worked the day before, the week before, the month before, whatever's not particularly working at that present time. And whilst lots of things have been amazing for me, lots of things aren't quite working out either, but again, it's a chance to go again. Personally, over the last few days, I've been suffering with my tooth. Whilst I've had it removed and I'm struggling, whilst I've had it removed and it solved the issue in many ways, I've been struggling to it still hurts, and I've been struggling to get going again, and that's something I'm desperate to do. I've been talking about my eagerness, and again today I almost considered not putting out an episode, thinking should I, because of the pain and then because of the Queen and for one or two other reasons. But it's important to do what you say you're going to do, set that example, be the person you want to be. Don't let anybody sort of detract you from your own thoughts and your own positivity and your own enthusiasm. I've had a lot of people reach out to me recently and say that they're not good because this or that, but the reality is only us can sort that out. We can take the lead from great people like the Queen, people who inspire us, but the reality is only us can sort it out. And by getting out and about and at it like I am today, lots to mull over, lots to get through, lots of big decisions pending. But again, when I come off the vlog, I've got time to have a bit of an extended walk and think about all that too. So that was why it's important for me today to sort of set about the week. Again, it's almost a delayed start with the bank holiday, and I could have used several other excuses, reasons, genuine reasons, I guess. Could have used those to not do it today, but my eagerness is to get going regardless. And even if it's in a subdued manner, slightly different to the conventional week, it's an opportunity to give it a real go. Use what's happened, embrace what the Queen gave us the last 70 years, embrace such a momentous occasion. You know, watching what I did on TV made me realise that it's quite inspiring alone, isn't it? Nowhere else in the world does it quite like us. And again, it made me sort of proud to be the royalist I am, to the degree I am. Again, I'll just reiterate, don't get me wrong, I'm not out there waving flags and stood on the mile myself, but in my own small way, trying to pay my respects. And that's all I really want to say, guys. That's all I've got to say today. Just almost in keeping with the somberness, is that word? I'm not sure, of my surroundings, the quiet nature, just paying my final respects, but really looking forward to moving forward. If you've liked the episode, if you understand, or if you're trying to understand where I'm coming from, or understand where I'm trying to come from, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow with Tuesday trading, hopefully with a bit more spark about me, rearing to go, instill some activity in the week and really push forward. Until then, just doing it.